Clayton Kershaw almost cusses at a press conference, and I wish it happened. Oh my God, I wish it happened. Kings coach Todd McLellan gets his contract extended for a year, and Darvin Ham says he knows who the Lakers' fifth starter is. He just wants to leave us with a cliffhanger. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is October 7th, 2023. I am back in Salt Lake City for work. It's been a glorious way to start the weekend. I don't like Diet Coke that much anyway. There's plenty of water to go around. Unlike, unfortunately, our state. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. But whatever. Let's brighten the mood. Let's talk LA sports. If you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It's always lovely when you're talking LA sports. And we added new subscribers to the Angeleno Familia yesterday. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. Appreciate every last one of you. So before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Yesterday, there were no games involving LA teams. But we've got a good slate of action going on today. Headlining the whole thing, Major League Baseball playoffs. Arizona is in town to take on the Dodgers at 6:20 in Game 1 of the best-of-5 NL Division Series. Clayton Kershaw is on the bump tonight. He'll face off with Merrill Kelly of the Diamondbacks. Meanwhile, 9th-ranked USC is going to host Arizona at 7:30. USC has beaten Arizona for 10 consecutive games. Washington State is also in town. They're playing UCLA at noon. Can you see how packed things are today for LA? The Bruins defense gives up just 11 points per game, but they're about to face an air raid offense. This is going to be a hell of a challenge for the Bruins. The Galaxy are out of town, though. They are going to be at Minnesota United at 5:30. The Galaxy season is on the line. Particularly if they lose. They could be eliminated as early as tonight. But Minnesota United yesterday fired its manager. So a little bit of chaos with the team that they're facing. And LAFC is at Austin at 5:30. Dennis Bouanga is in the lead for the Golden Boot for MLS. He has scored 17 times this year. So Clayton Kershaw is a man with 3 reputations, wouldn't you say? Like, one reputation he has is an arsenal of just absolutely devastating pitches. Even saw it when he was in the minor leagues, man. I saw him throw this curveball. It looked like trying to hit a soap bubble. It was so crazy. You knew he was going to be something special in the majors. But unfortunately, that also comes up with a second reputation coming up short in the playoffs. It's one of those reputations. One of those 2 reputations, though, took a hike this year. Unfortunately, it's the devastating pitches. He just doesn't have it right now. He's going on whatever he can coax out of that arm. He's got an injured shoulder. His speed is dropped. His command isn't quite what it used to be. And now he's going into his 32nd playoff start tonight in Game 1, knowing that the Dodgers are going to consider themselves lucky if they can get 5 innings out of the guy. But the Dodgers have no choice, and neither does Kershaw, and they both know it. And Kershaw has a third reputation. That would be of being a devoted Christian. And we all know he walks that talk. He's not like one of those guys on TV who's waving his Bible, smacking it upside your head, right? Clayton Kershaw actually goes out and helps the poor. This is something he just absolutely believes in. But I got to tell you something. I was watching his interview, his press conference on Friday, and he had that look in his eye like he was going to give the press a look like F y'all. I've had enough. I'm putting the New Testament down. I want to give you guys the middle finger. F y'all. Let's stunt on these hoes from Arizona. I swear to God, that's what it looked like he was about to say. Now, he didn't say that. He didn't. To his credit, he did not say, let's stunt on these hoes. What he did actually say was, quote, I think when you get beat down enough, you start saying screw it, unquote. I'd like to welcome Clayton Kershaw to the world of almost cussing. I was there back when I was in the third grade. You remember what it was like in the third grade when you were like kind of afraid to cuss because you thought the word was going to get back to your parents and you get the hell kicked out of you for it? Just me? Yeah. The world of almost cussing. Clayton Kershaw in his mid-30s, this close. To be clear, it didn't take too long for the neighborhood kids to start having me say mother effer. I wonder how close Clayton Kershaw is to that. Meanwhile, the LA Times has taken an ass-backward approach to Dodgers pitching for the playoffs. And I got to tell you, it's not a bad way of looking at it. Because what they're saying is the Dodgers know that they can trust Evan Phillips in the ninth. They believe that they can get an inning each out of Ryan Brazier and Brusdar Graterol. So how do you get those first 18 outs? How do you get the first 6 innings? Because you seem to have the last 3 more or less locked down. That is going to be the key to the series tonight. Finally, the rock group Guns N' Roses, remember them? They said they are going to be moving a concert from Chase Field in Phoenix to a nearby amphitheater so that the Diamondbacks can host Game 3. That's not the reason they're moving the game. Let's be real. They're moving it because it's no longer 1998 and Axel Rose looks like the guy at the edge of a Caltrans construction site holding the sign that switches between stop traffic and proceed slowly. Axel Rose is not aging gracefully, guys. Axel Rose looks like when he's off hours, he's driving a white van trying to tell the neighborhood kids he's looking for a lost puppy. Let's not get it twisted. Axel Rose. Come on. See him do that little shivvy dance he used to do in the 1990s, watching this like 5-foot wide beer gut just bouncing off the stage. Come on, guys. Axel Rose does not have that star power anymore. Let's not get it confused. An extension for Kings coach Todd McLellan has been reached, depending on which news site that you believe. Respected NHL reporter Elliot Friedman said that they were nearing it and that it would be for 1 year. Kings bloggers came out a little bit later and said that it was, in fact, signed. Now, McLellan and the Kings had been working on a contract extension for a while. It's apparently only going to be for 1 year. If they do it, great. Nobody wants to go into a season as a lame duck coach. But there is also the belief that if the Kings don't advance out of the first round, they might just eat that contract and get rid of the guy. So I don't know necessarily which side to believe. If the contract extension is there, what I can tell you, I don't know how much it is. But I do know that his original contract here was worth about $5 million a year. And McClellan's record with the Kings is 141, 115, and 34. In a surprise, defenseman Brandt Clark apparently did not make the team. He was loaned to the minor league affiliate down in Ontario, along with forwards Alex Turcotte and Alex Laferriere. Clark has just played 14 professional games. So this would be last year. He played about 9 to 10 of them in the NHL, got a couple more in the AHL. The reason the Kings couldn't keep him with the NHL was because they were so up against the salary cap. He made such an impression in that audition that he was pretty much considered a lock to make the team this year. Instead, he's going to the Ontario Reign, which stuns me. But who am I? Laferriere, meanwhile, impressed the hell out of McLellan. The coach said that the prospect is mature. He anticipates the game well. He's probably the reason that the Kings were actually okay with letting sniper Samuel Fagemo go on waivers. Laferriere has scored, by the way, 3 times in the preseason, so he might actually be the better guy after all. Darvin Ham told the Scribes he knows who the Lakers' 5th starter is. We know the other 4. We've already talked about it. It's obviously LeBron, Anthony Davis. Then there's Austin Reeves. And last week, Ham said, look, there's no reason to make a point guard controversy where there doesn't need to be one. Our point guard's D'Angelo Russell. So, Ham says he knows who the fifth guy is. He just doesn't want to name him yet. Now, I like Darvin Ham. I like him a lot. But if you think trying to keep us in suspense is going to make us watch Laker preseason games, you're out of your damn mind. That is not going to happen. We've all heard the joke about how do you keep an idiot in suspense. I didn't realize that was watching Lakers preseason games. What I will do is give you guys a little bit of a somewhat educated guess. Rui Hachimura. I believe it's Hachimura because he's been working out with LeBron James pretty much every day all summer long. Now, if you can match LeBron James's work ethic, you don't think that's going to impress LeBron? And in turn, LeBron telling the Lakers brass, this is my guy, I want him on the court with me? Wouldn't you think? I mean, that's the way I would look at it. LeBron, he's dropping 1980s references to talk about his love of Rui Hachimura's work ethic. He's calling Rui Hachimura Daniel-san to his Mr. Miyagi, which if this were, I don't know, 2020 when Cobra Kai first came out would be a lovely reference. It's a little tired now, but okay. You, like me, may have become sick of the Golden State Warriors, and to be frank, that's par for the course, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people out of LA who are sick of the Lakers. I'm currently in Salt Lake City. Jazz fans are gnashing their teeth to little bloody nubs over how much they hate the Lakers. But I will say, you have to give credit where it's due. Golden State coach Steve Kerr said, quote, the Lakers exposed us, unquote, in the playoffs last season. Quote, we were not a very well-rounded team, unquote. Which is true. And I respect people for their honesty. But it's one thing to diagnose a problem if you're Golden State. It's quite another to solve it. And the Warriors' problem? They're still a bunch of Smurfs compared to the Lakers. So there's that. Cooper Kupp will make his season debut Sunday for the Rams out in Philadelphia versus Philadelphia, barring a last-minute setback. Sean McVay said Kupp looked like himself in practice. Kupp hasn't played in a game since week 10 of last year. Not a regular season game, not a preseason game. Last year, by the way, was ended by an ankle injury as opposed to now, which was a hamstring issue. Speaking of Rams injuries, right guard Joe Noteboom is definitely out for tomorrow's game. Left tackle Alaric Jackson, ESPN says they expect him to play. Another website said that Jackson's a game time decision. Now, if the Rams are out 2 starting offensive linemen, that's a problem. If it's Joe Noteboom, I think they can make it up. We talked much, much more about the Rams offensive line in last night's edition of Friday Night Chalk Talk, how they're trying to reestablish their offense with this new look offensive line. Feel free to take a peek. The Chargers are on a bye week, we know that, but Pro Football Focus, or PFF, they're a bunch of analytics nerds. They try to come up with these formulas to try to tell you why a team sucks or rules. They rated the best and worst of the Chargers for the first month of the season. I don't want to go through every player, but I do want to point out the things that struck me as odd. Austin Eckler, to the analytics nerds, was rated the 4th most effective player on offense for the Chargers. Which you would say, okay, but he's only played 1 game. How do you rate somebody that high when they've only been in 1 game? You're not effective if you're not on the field. It's just like that. But it does hint at the offense from the Chargers being a little bit too one-dimensional. And here's why. The backup running backs, Joshua Kelly and Elijah Dotson, were rated the 3rd and 4th worst. So you're missing one of your best. His 2 replacements aren't picking up the slack at all. What choice do you have if you're the Bolts other than to put everything on Justin Herbert's shoulders? By the way, recently traded cornerback J.C. Jackson was rated the 5th worst player on the defense. The only note that I would add is I have no bleeping clue how these nerds rate these players. I just know that they get referenced a lot in the press. So maybe they're onto something, maybe they're not. You make the call. Baker Mayfield went on the Pat McAfee show. He's a former Rams quarterback and a former Oklahoma quarterback back when Lincoln Riley was coaching there. He was asked if USC coach Lincoln Riley only cares about offense. Quote, "I guess the main point is he tries to score more points than everybody," unquote. Thanks for the insight, Bake. Thanks for the insight. Never would have guessed. Way to tell us absolutely nothing. The defense, by the way, which frankly deserves all the scorn it can get, we've been talking about it. The way Grinch coaches, Alex Grinch, it's going to be high reward but extremely high risk. It's good with the bad, and unfortunately, there's been some profound bad that overwhelms the good. But I want to at least tell you what the reward is. The Trojans are 6th in sacks in the country. They have 19. They're 3rd in tackles for loss with 49. The Dagger, they've allowed games of 20 plus yards on 11% of opposing teams' pass attempts. So in other words, the opponent is going to strike lightning just as much as the Trojans' defense is. Unfortunately, the lightning strikes hurt a lot more. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about how the Dodgers get those first 18 outs, because I have no idea. And for that matter, neither did the Times. Does Todd McLellan deserve his contract extension? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back later tonight with a rapid recap of Galaxy Soccer. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.